A well-known Lexington businessman is in the hospital after a bad crash this morning during rush hour. We have an update tonight on his injuries.
A Lexington nonprofit becomes the victim of a theft again.
Pretty good scam.
We'll show you how thieves swooped in and stole their lawnmower this time.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. He is no stranger to the city of Lexington, but tonight he is in the hospital after a bad crash this morning.
We have learned this afternoon that a man seriously injured in the crash on New Circle Road is Lyle Adams. He's at UK Hospital right now after being pinned between two vehicles.
Lexington police say it happened on the outer loop near Richmond Road. Garrett Weimer has the very latest on Adams' condition in our top story at 5:30.
We've learned that Lyle Adams, who was injured in that crash this morning on New Circle, has undergone surgery here at UK Hospital. At last check, his condition was not listed, but those who know and work with Adams are hoping for a full recovery. Police say Adams' red truck was pulled off on the shoulder and Adams was outside of it when a man driving another truck veered off the road and hit him. The crash pinned Adams between the two trucks. We're told drivers who saw it happen pulled over to help and managed to get Adams out from between those two trucks. Adams is a local businessman, well known in the community for his work with Shuffle Bean Coffee. Friends tell us Adams is now in recovery after his surgery. Adams' longtime close friend and former WKYT general manager Wayne Martin told us in a statement this afternoon, quote, "I had the opportunity to be involved in the search for the first president of Shuffle Bean Coffee, and that resulted in Lyle Adams. In every capacity I have known Lyle, he has been an exemplary example of honesty, work ethic, and leadership. Shuffle Bean Coffee will fully support Lyle and his family through his recovery." The other driver involved in the crash was also taken to the hospital. No word yet on his condition either. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Police say the driver of the truck may have had a medical emergency at the time. The crash shut down the outer loop and backed up traffic on New Circle for much of the morning.
For the fifth time in 5 years, a Lexington nonprofit is the victim of a theft. The Bob Brown House provides affordable housing to the mentally and physically disabled. Tonight, the group is hoping to find two men who stole their lawnmower in broad daylight, and they were caught on camera. New at 5:30, Andrea Walker takes a look at that surveillance video.
Pretty good scam.
Last Thursday, staff members at the Bob Brown House say two men drove up and asked if they needed their lawn mowed. The problem is it was just cut a few hours before.
I don't think they just would randomly pull up in our driveway to start with. It's not like they could see our mower from the road. So, yeah, I think that this was a plan.
As you can see in this video, the two used their own machine as a distraction while they loaded up the lawnmower belonging to the nonprofit. Now, what makes this story even more interesting is this isn't the first time they've been targeted. The box you're looking at now belongs to the lawnmower stolen last year. In fact, for the last 5 years in a row, the Bob Brown House has had a lawnmower or weed eater stolen every single year.
And it's almost embarrassing because we just had this lady help us out, take us to Lowe's, and then now we're in the same position again.
Patricia Mowry was the one who spoke with the thieves. She says the idea that they would speak with her, shake her hand, then steal from behind her back makes her sick.
They really act like they don't care. They just come in and take what they want and leave. I guess if you get hungry enough or you want something bad enough, you just do it, almost anything to get it.
No matter who it's from?
No matter who it's from. They don't care.
In Lexington, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
If you'd like to donate to the Bob Brown House to help them replace their stolen equipment, we have a link to their website on our WKYT.com.
A judge has sent the case against a Southern Kentucky woman charged with the death of her baby to the grand jury. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Laurel County. Jessica Nicely and her husband Gary both pled not guilty to murder and abuse last week. Investigators say the Nicely's 7-week-old daughter died 2 weeks ago from a head injury. The baby's twin sister was also taken to the hospital with injuries. Only Jessica Nicely was in court today. Her case was sent to the grand jury, which meets on Friday. Gary Nicely will be in court court also on Friday. In Nelson County, police are investigating a teacher accused of having sexual relationships with several of her students. Bardstown police say the woman is a teacher at Bardstown High School, but police say so far they have not heard from parents of the alleged victims or school officials. Child Protective Services started looking into the case last month. That's when the sheriff's office was contacted, but police say the teacher has not been charged at this time. And in Floyd County, deputies are looking for those responsible for stealing a trailer. Deputies say someone in a white truck pulled up to a house in the East Point community on Saturday, hooked the trailer to the truck and drove off. Neighbors say they usually don't see thefts like this in their area.
It's not common for somebody to take something from us. That's not how it happens, because like I said, we're all friends, we're all family around here. You know, it's very uncommon.
Deputies say the trailer is worth more than $5,000. When caught, they say the person responsible will face felony charges.
Cooler temperatures are popping back up in our forecast, but it comes with a bit of a price. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking some rain moving back in. Chris?
Yeah, we're going to track in at least some scattered thunderstorms as we go into our Wednesday. Much better chance coming up this weekend. We got a few scattered thunderstorms out there now. Southern Kentucky, I'm looking in your direction. Look at the majority of central and eastern Kentucky. Nothing going on. Frankfort, Lexington, Richmond, into the Moorhead area, even Somerset, nothing going on. But it's getting close. It's trying to drift in from south to north with a little thunder and lightning from Barberville, Corbin, over toward Whitley City. That's McCreary County, right on the Wayne County line that extends on top of Williamsburg here into Whitley County. A little farther to the north, Corbin. A couple of cells are bypassing, where it's kind of splitting the downtown area. Here's a look at Interstate 75 there, Corbin, into Whitley, on the Whitley and kind of Laurel County line, exactly where that cam is. And south of London, you can smell the rain, but a lot of that will begin to dissipate as the sun gets ready to set. Cold front across the Plain States is going to surge in here as we go through our Wednesday. That will at least give us some scattered thunderstorms around tomorrow. And that's the first of two cold fronts on the way, and watching the possibility that the weekend turns wet at times. Not talking about a washout, but I'll show you what I am talking about when I get back in under 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. A central Kentucky county is deciding today whether to go wet or stay dry, and we're not talking about the weather. Voters in Shelby County are deciding whether to expand alcohol sales. The city of Shelbyville is already wet. Today's vote would allow package sales in stores in the rest of the county. And Bullett's Bourbon Distillery would be allowed to offer tastings on its tours. Polls close in just a few minutes at 6 o'clock.
New tonight, we have learned that the University of Kentucky has responded to the Attorney General's plan to intervene in their lawsuit against UK's student-run newspaper. UK is suing the Kentucky Colonel as part of an appeal against Andy Bashir's opinion ordering the university to release to the newspaper the records from a sexual misconduct case allegedly involving a UK professor. Bashir says the university also withheld the open records from his office for review during the appeals process. Today, UK filed a motion saying they want the AG to intervene because they want a ruling on what records must be turned over to them and what records can be withheld.
Our WKYT viewers are loyal, and when there are changes in our programming, they let us know. One of our viewers is asking this good question: what is going on with Wheel of Fortune? Nothing but reruns for the last 2 months. Well, I asked our Vice President of Operations, Mike Canarak, for an answer, and he says that all television programs only produce new shows 36 to 40 weeks per year. The remainder of the weeks are reruns. Usually, but not always, reruns appear during the months of December, January, June, and August. Now, Mike says, I'm not aware of any shows, either Monday through Friday strip shows like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, or weekly shows like NCIS or Blue Bloods that produce new programming 52 weeks a year. So they get a bit of a break. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@WKYT.com.
No pajama pants. Pajama pants or pajamas.
He is not the fashion police. He's a judge. Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, why he is issuing a dress code for his courtroom.
I'm Bill Bryan. Senator Mitch McConnell is optimistic that Congress can keep the government operating. Donald Trump supports required paid maternity leave. And Bill Clinton says his wife is eager to get back on the trail. The bottom line is ahead.
I'm Phil Pendleton in Russell County at 6 o'clock. A mother faces a murder charge. Police say that meth and her actions responsible for the death of her 3-year-old daughter.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell is confident lawmakers will pass a spending bill soon to keep the federal government open.
And presidential candidate Donald Trump announces his plan to bring down child care costs. Bill Bryant has the details in the bottom line.
Good evening. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell is optimistic that Republicans and Democrats will work out a spending bill to keep the federal government in operation when the fiscal year runs out at the end of this month. President Obama has been meeting with congressional leaders trying to work out a deal, and McConnell has helped broker compromises many times over the years. A stumbling block is conservatives in the House who are standing hard against any legislation that would allow Planned Parenthood to get money from a federal response to the Zika virus. Politico reports that a compromise could be breaking up the spending bill into smaller bills that would be voted on separately. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump today unveiling a plan for bringing down child care costs. It breaks with GOP proposals of the past. The Washington Post reports Trump's daughter Ivanka helped craft the proposal that includes guaranteeing women 6 weeks of paid maternity leave. The proposal also includes allowing parents to deduct child care costs from their federal income taxes. Hillary Clinton continued to rest up today as she recovers from pneumonia, but her surrogates quickly took to the campaign trail. President Obama stumped for Clinton in Pennsylvania. Vice President Joe Biden worked a crowd in North Carolina. And before heading out west, Bill Clinton appeared in an interview aired today on CBS This Morning. He dismissed speculation about his wife's health and said she'll be back on the campaign trail soon.
She looked like $1 million this morning. I can tell she's feeling a lot better.
She has pneumonia.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can take a while, the recovery.
It can.
Is it possible that she will be away for weeks from the campaign trail?
No. Not a shot. I'll be lucky to hold her back another day.
Both Clinton and Trump's campaigns promise more information about the candidate's health will be released this week. Kentucky Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes is traveling the state doing voter registration drives. She was in eastern Kentucky today. The filing deadline to vote in the November election is October 11th. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A Western Kentucky judge wants offenders to know if you are not dressed appropriately, you don't belong in his courtroom.
Now, District Judge Gabe Pendleton now has a dress code in place. He is the district judge for Barron and Metcalfe counties. He says offenders must wear shirts with sleeves, pants that are not pajamas, and no tank tops.
It's not for me at all, really, because I would love to wear shorts and flip-flops everywhere I went, but you can't do that in every situation in life. There are certain places where you need to show some respect for what's going on.
The judge says if someone does not follow his dress code, they will be asked to go home and change, or the court date will be rescheduled. The dress code will be in effect until December, when Judge Pendleton's term expires, unless he is reelected in November.
Steamy weather back in the Bluegrass State. Hope you're having a great afternoon, everybody. Dealing with temperatures deep into the 80s in most areas, keeping the sunshine. Summer continues to put in a little OT right now. Let's look at some of those live sky cams from across the area. Take you into southeastern Kentucky, where we did actually see a little bit of cloud cover, and I've got some thunderstorms into far southern Kentucky. Contrast that sky with the sky in Lexington and the beautiful scenery of our WKYT weather garden. Everybody into the 80s this afternoon. Not a whole lot of humidity to really talk about, but still the possibility is there that we see that humidity increase tonight, and tomorrow it's going to increase enough to give everybody a chance for a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Southern Kentucky, we mentioned this yesterday. We thought we'd get in on some scattered stuff, and from Corbin down into Whitley County, McCreary County, at least a couple of showers and thunderstorms that have been giving some local areas nice little drink of water. Southwest of the Whitley City area in McCreary County. Let's go to Whitley County in the city of Williamsburg. Dealing with a little rain that extends to the north near Corbin. London, look to your south. Skies are dark, but chances are the rains are decreasing before they get into town. A lot of rain across the volunteer state of Tennessee. Warm high pressure across the eastern part of the country. Cold high pressure across the west behind a front. It snowed in the Rockies last night. That front's never going to really make it across Kentucky. Isolated showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, still on the warm side. It will feel better on Thursday, mainly dry skies, though southeastern Kentucky will have to watch for something similar to today. Late day thunderstorms on Friday of scattered fashion. That will introduce a better chance of rain as we get into our weekend. I'm not saying it's going to be a washout of a weekend. I'm just saying that the chance is there that we get a thunderstorm across many areas at some point Saturday and into Sunday. Nothing that is a big wall of water that's just going to work its way through the area, but the chances are certainly going to be increased as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Let's talk about the short term. By 11 o'clock, mid to upper 60s showing up. And notice how the thermometers level off a little bit tonight as that increase in humidity can mean an isolated shower thunderstorm first half of tomorrow. Steamy afternoon with that front nearby, 76 Covington, mid-80s for any folks getting some sunshine. You could see an upper 80, but the threat is there for a thunderstorm or two. We go into Thursday. Front is still on top of the area. A little more cloud cover. It's a little cooler. Humidity levels are down just a little bit. We go from 80 Maysville to 84 into the Monticello area, southern Kentucky, and that front just hangs tough into Friday morning before going back to the north and waiting on another front to replace it as we go into the weekend. So yeah, storms are going to increase over the weekend. As I mentioned earlier, let's not just cancel everything. Don't cancel the weekend. Can't do that at all. Scattered showers and storms will be around this weekend.
You're not allowed to cancel the weekend.
No, you're not.
Not our weekend.
Even if it's a rainy one, which I don't think it's going to be wall-to-wall rain.
Okay.
Good deal.
All right.
Thanks.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic, and a couple of collisions right now causing some problems. One's on Nicholasville Road. That crash is just down from Alumni, it looks like. Nicholasville between Waller and Alumni. There's another one inbound Nicholasville Road at Jesslyn Drive, so it's going to get you coming or going in that corridor at the moment. To Nicholasville about 15 minutes, Georgetown 16, and Winchester 28. Now back to you in the studio.
Brian, some football officials have been in hot water since Saturday.
Yes, Central Michigan upset Oklahoma State on a Hail Mary, which should have never occurred. And since Saturday, Mark Stoops and his coaches and his players have been under self-evaluation. Stoops explains next in sports. Mark Stoops and his football Wildcats are in a corner. Standing at 0-2, UK is in a must-win situation Saturday. A 19-point favorite, but a lot of people think that's a rather high opening line. The Wildcats, think about this, and I'm sure you've heard about it. They gave up 34 straight points against Southern Miss, 38 straight to Florida. How can UK stop the bleeding? It begins with a self-examination up and down the staff and roster.
You know, we had to spend some extra time analyzing ourselves, that's for sure. So, yes, I think, you know, yesterday was different in that you had to go through the film several times and go through the first two games to make sure we're doing things that we're putting our players in a position to be successful.
Well, you can see the Cats and the Aggies this Saturday at 4 o'clock, SEC Network alternate channel. Here in Lexington, that's channel 518 on your Time Warner cable. Last Thursday, EKU gave Mark Elder his first win as Colonel's head coach. Now it's on to Muncie, Indiana this Saturday for a matchup with Ball State. It will be the second time this season Eastern will step up to the FBS level. The Colonels opened the season at Purdue last week. EKU turned Pikeville over 8 times. The Colonels needed them because they allowed the Bears to jump out to an early lead, much like Purdue did a couple of weeks ago.
We can't play like that, like we did to start the game off for the first quarter and 10 minutes. That's not championship level football, and that's the expectation around here is to play championship level football. So we got to play at a better level on both sides of the football. They were moving the football up and down the field on us. We needed the turnovers to stop them from doing that, and we got to play at a higher level than that.
EKU, Muncie, Indiana, Ball State.
The Cardinals 3 o'clock kickoff. You can see it on ESPN3. You may have seen this play over the weekend. It got some folks in trouble. The Mid-American and Big 12 conferences have suspended 8 officials for misinterpreting a rule which allowed Central Michigan to upset Oklahoma State on a wild game-ending play. According to the coordinator of officials in the MAC, the crew gave Central Michigan an untimed down. According to the coordinator, the crew should have used instant replay to correct their mistake. Central Michigan throws that Hail Mary towards the goal line, which resulted in a lateral for the winning score. And they're going to be suspended for at least this weekend, maybe more, who knows. Coming up during the 6 o'clock hour, we take a look at Landon Young. He got his first playing time as a Wildcat. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll be right back.